All right, good evening. We welcome you to Beef O'Brady's here in Stark tonight as we welcome you to another edition of North Florida Sports Talk, the North Florida High School Football Gridiron Report. I am Marty Pallman along with Corey Davis. And, oops, I don't want to do that. Sorry. We had another busy week in high school football last week. All kinds of stuff going on. Some more teams were crowned district champions as we get 1 week closer to the playoffs. We in FHSAA play 2 weeks left in the regular season. And then in SSAA, this is the final week, right? This is it.
Yeah, this is the last week. Yeah.
And the playoffs will start next week there. The playoffs will start for 3 more weeks for the FHSAA because of that bye week. But a lot to talk about. Corey's got all kinds of district scenarios we can go over. See, he sent me that earlier today. He's been able to, I guess, do some math here and some calculations to get at. But we start tonight, though, with a special guest tonight, and he is the prep writer for the Ocala Star Banner. And this is Alan Pettigrew. Hey, Alan, how you doing?
How you doing, Marty?
Hello, Alan. How are you doing?
Oh, sorry. It says Marty Pallman on there, but
I'm Corey. He's Marty.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
So Alan, with the Star Banner in Ocala, first of all, let me let Corey ask you about the Vanguard game because he had a question about that.
Well, I was following it on Twitter, and I understand Vanguard scored with 55 seconds left. But what happened after that?
Dude, it got scary. So Palm Beach Central has a really good quarterback in Chance Ralston, and they had just a miracle in that last 55 seconds. They did a really good job of driving down the field, and they just were able to punch it in at the last second. I want to say they probably left Vanguard with 12 seconds to respond, and they just didn't have the juice to get it done. They had to, plus their kicker was crazy. So they had like a deep field. It was one for the record books, man.
Yeah.
Vanguard came in that game, on fire. They hadn't lost since week 1 when they lost to Buell in that rainy night. So what happened Friday night? Were they just looking ahead?
To be completely honest with you, I think that Palm Beach Central team was just really good. Like looking at their stats, it didn't tell the full picture. If you saw them get off the bus, and that offensive line looked like nothing I've seen all year. Like even watching Buchholz this year, and they had some pretty big dudes on that line. Every single person looked like they had a Division I scholarship on that offensive line for Palm Beach Central. That was the killer.
Yeah, and their record it said was 4-4, but I guess that didn't quite tell the tale either of that team. But so you've seen, being in Ocala there, you've seen Vanguard a few times, right? I'm assuming this year.
He froze.
Okay. What's going on with that? Sorry about that. Yep.
Okay, welcome back.
All right.
Sorry about that. Go ahead. Anyway, so you're saying you've seen Vanguard quite a few times this year?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Do you think that that's a team that, every year we kind of talk about them in the postseason, in the playoffs. Is this a team that maybe has a chance to go to state this year, maybe get a little further than they have in the past?
I think they're my dark horse. Like this entire season, they looked almost better at times than last year's team. And that team pretty much matched as far as they have went in history. So the fact that we have those, but this group is so much younger. There's a lot of juniors. There's a lot of sophomores playing a lot of big minutes on this team. So it's really going to have to come down to maturity. Outside of that, they're my dark horse, man. They're my dark horse this season. I can see them in the Final Four.
Let's talk about Trinity Catholic. We always talk about Vanguard every single week. We also talk about Trinity Catholic. The murder schedule they're playing. It seems like they have played the Chiefs, the Bills, the Cowboys, the Jaguars. They finally ended a 4-game losing skid. Can you talk about the Celtics?
Yeah, so the Celtics are a very interesting team because they were 3-0 until they hit that rough patch where they decided to go through the gauntlet. And I talked to Coach Hart earlier in the season. He was like, we got our hands full with these dudes, but I think that's perfect. Like I'm not even going to try to pronounce the team that they played that blew them out with 51-0. It was an EUA gal. Like I'm
Ugali, Ugali.
yeah,
Yeah. Around Melbourne. Yeah, that's where they're from.
yeah, that name gives me the hands every single time we talk about them. But O'Galley is one of the better teams in the state right now, and the Celtics had no problem taking them on. And I just don't think that's where the program is right now to be taking on like the top teams in the state. But that being said, they haven't exactly in those games up until Egali, they held their own. They put points on the board. They showed that they got a good fit. They got good defense, and they're probably going to win that district championship come Friday.
Yeah, they will actually. Go ahead and tell you. You see PK Young. PK Young is rough, but
Over 0-8.
yeah, Trinidad and they
Oh, Jesus.
score a lot of points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a blind squirrel won't even find a nut that night.
Are you at that game this week?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's it.
Well, the good news for you is that'll be a running clock.
Probably, yeah.
No
Hey,
problem.
get out of here
It will
early.
be.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. So you were talking about the schedule for Trinity Catholic, but we've seen that with them before. It's almost like Coach Brantley made that schedule still, like he left them with it. But
Well, wasn't it 2 years ago they had 7 losses?
yeah, they played for the state title at 7-7. Yeah, I nearly won it. That's right, because of that schedule. But how has the new coach been kind of taking over Trinity Catholic for a guy like John Brantley? How's that new coach been there?
With Coach Hart, you can tell that he's a former NFL player. Like the stuff that he had those guys doing, like the minute he got there, it felt like a different program because of his demeanor. He doesn't really let too many things slide. He has the team so accountable within itself that after dudes are making the errors, they're going to the sideline to talk about it before the coaches are even there, and they know exactly what happened where you need to be. And guys aren't bickering back and forth. They're like, "You're right. I need to be better for this next play." And I haven't seen that from a lot of high school teams, and I think that starts with Coach Hart because he does not play around.
I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you even thought about it yet, but we know the new high school's coming, South Marion. Who does that affect the most?
Oh man, I'm hearing a lot of different things. I'm hearing Denellen, but I just don't know how much a new school is going to take away from the culture at Denellen. I don't see a lot of those football players leaving. They talk about Westport too. And if they do get those kids out of Westport, that's going to be really tough for them because they're in that 7A division. Hopefully they'll bump down, but you go down there, 4A, 5A, and you still have a bunch of monsters to deal with. And I want to say they said a little bit of North Marion, but I don't know how much that I actually take into a play. And I saw Bellevue as well. But again, Coach Hartwell is doing amazing things over there with their culture. So I have no idea where that team is getting kids from.
Yeah, because we were thinking probably Bellevue or Forest.
Well, where that's located, I thought, if it's southern Ocala, I was thinking down that way. But
yeah,
Right, South Marion.
Right, South Marion. Because so is it going to be south of Ocala? That's going to be
the Ocala was it the Ocala Oaks or no Marion Oaks side? I think that's a little bit more western, but I don't have a map in front of me, so I cannot give you the certified answer.
west, right?
outside of Vanguard, if you had to rank your county teams, or maybe not the county, but the area, who's number 2? Who's number 3?
It's actually hilarious that you bring that up because I just did an article for our power rankings earlier this morning. Right now, and I'm okay with getting some flack here, I got Forest. And Forest is here because they're outside of Vanguard, the only team we have right now that's above 500. They're putting really good wins together. Their losses aren't bad. This is just a really well-ironed Brantley team, especially in his first year back. I did not expect them to look this good, even though all of the talent that they got as an influx of him coming in, really impressive. Number 3 is Denellen. I think Denellen and Forest are our tier 2 teams right now in the county. Denellen has a great running game when everything is going well. They have the most experienced quarterback in the county. Shoot, Caden Robinson Vickers is doing amazing things, especially on the recruiting trail. He just picked up USC a few weeks ago. There's just a lot of senior talent here, and they play really well with each other. They just had so many injuries on that front line where they weren't able to really pile up wins like they expected to.
Yeah, I don't think Denellen's not going to make the playoffs, are they? Or are they? They're a
Not
chance.
likely,
Yeah,
no.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Forrest. I mean, yeah, I've known John Brantley a long time, and you're right. The players go with him. It seems like, and if Forrest was able to get some more talent in there this year, probably not going to make the postseason this year. But I mean, not a bad first year, I would say, for him. Looks like they're going to have a winning record.
Well, if they could be a Vanguard, they'd be 7-3.
That's true. If they beat Vanguard, they could. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We
They
said-
could.
We
That's
said
far.
we didn't say they would. We said
So they
if.
could. Yes, they could. That's true.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a great game on Halloween night.
Yes, next week. That's hard to believe. Next week's the end of the regular season.
Alan, I don't know how long you've been around the Ocala area, but I remember when those two played, they shared the same stadium, and the winner got to paint the field house every year.
Yeah, man, the color wars. It's always fun, man. I wish they still had that tradition just because I'm a big trash talker. I would love for them to have the chance to trash talk and have like that little semblance for the entire year. But man, the energy for that game is still ridiculous. You see people from 5 to 105 out there every single time they play. So it's going to be a really fun game. I don't know whose blood is going to be left on the field, but it's going to be somebody.
That's good. That sounds like Reigns Revolt kind of in Jacksonville. Yeah, it sounds a little bit like that. But well, Alan, tell everybody where we can see your writing, where you can see your work.
All right. You guys, if you like reading, come to ocala.com. We have plenty of stuff for you. Usually an article a day or so. If you like seeing this pretty face, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, AP_rights. If you like TikTok, you want to hear me talk a little bit more, Alan_Pettigrew on TikTok.
Okay, sounds good. We'll have to talk to you maybe down in the playoffs with Vanguard, following Vanguard in the postseason.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
All right.
All right, thank you, Alan, for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Alan.
You guys have a great night.
Thank you too. That is Alan Pettigrew of the Ocala Star Banner. Good stuff there. When we talk about Marion County, we spend most of our time talking about Vanguard. We kind of like because Vanguard has been pretty dominant, but John Brantley, North Marion's been a little bit down lately, but they've had some really good years. And Denellen too. Denellen's had some really good years. We kind of forget about Denellen being in Marion County too.
Yeah. If I had to guess right now, Vanguard's a lock, Trinity Catholic's a lock,
Yeah.
and Forest could get into the wild card.
Okay. I didn't realize Forrest was that close, but
They're 5-3, so they, if they get to 7-3, that should be guaranteed, especially with a win over Vanguard.
well, yeah, that's right. If they can beat Vanguard, that definitely will help. Well, we got a lot to talk about here tonight, mostly to do with district title scenarios and playoff scenarios. And by the way, our college football show is coming up at 9. We got a little bit to talk about on that show from 9 to 10. A lot going on here in this area within the last 24 to 48 hours. So, of course, with the Florida situation, and already the rumors are swirling around that. We'll talk. That's coming up in our college football report from 9 to 10 from before Brady's and start. Here on Monday, I didn't say that. Sorry, special Monday edition. We're usually here on Wednesday, but I have a game on Wednesday night at UF. So this week we're doing this Monday, 1 week only on Monday. We'll be back Wednesday next week, which will be 2 days before Halloween. It's Halloween next week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It'll be Christmas before we know it. 2 months. All right, well, let's look around the region. It's all the marbles. While 8 teams clinched playoff berths by winning district titles recently or last week. Creekside, we talked about these teams last week. Southlake, Vanguard, St. Augustine, Bishop Kenny, Eastside, and Bowles, and Trinity Christian had already clinched. Now, several more have a chance to do the same this week. Winner take all games. This is going to be a good one. Oakleaf at Mandarin in 6A District 2. Ed White at Riverside in 4A District 4. Yulee at Rains in 3A3, Providence at University Christian in 1A3, and PK Young and Trinity Catholic 1A4.
Let's think about this. If you're a bubble team, God forbid PK Young pulls the upset.
You're screwed.
Riverside pulls the upset.
Yep.
You're screwed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not so much.
You were
maybe Providence, maybe, or no? They, I guess they're.
I mean, their record's okay, but Riverside's got 1 or 2 wins. PK
2 wins.
over.
Yeah. Yulee's in, even if they lose to Reigns. And Oakley, whoever wins Oakley fan or whoever loses that. Yeah. So you're right, though. PK Young could definitely mess up somebody in 1A Region 1, no doubt.
We don't think it's going to happen, but I'm saying, what if?
Yeah. Well, they got beat by NFEI 60-0 last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a rough year there at PK Young. But again, welcome to a 2-team district. Win 1 game and you're in the playoffs. It's a district championship. So, all right, let's take a look at some of the title scenarios. 7A District 1, DeLand 7-0, and they're 1-0 in the district. Can set up a winner-take-all showdown with Spruce Creek, who's 6-1 and 1-0 as well, with a win over Orange City University. Orange City University is already out of the district race. They are 1-7 and 0-2, providing Spruce Creek beats Flagler Palm Coast, who's 1-1 in the district, 2-5 overall. Palm Coast's upset would still cause chaos, keep the Bulldogs alive, because if Spruce Creek beats Flagler Palm Coast,
likely that district won't be decided until November 4th,
right,
when we had the makeup.
and Spruce Creek play,
Yeah.
And Flagler Palm Coast is coming off a win over Yulee last week, so a pretty impressive one. Yulee's first loss of the season down there. So we'll see how that works out. But right now, we figure that DeLand Spruce Creek matchups for the district title there. 3, actually, this is 6A too. Buholtz win over Bartram Trail would wrap up the district title. That's Thursday night at Citizens Field. I'll be at that game on Thursday. Bartram Trail win would create a potential 3-way tiebreaker with Nice if they beat Coy Creek. So we'll see. I don't really think Bartram Trail is going to beat Buholtz, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. So Bartram Trail is 1-1 in the district. Buholtz is 2-0. Nice is 1-1. Coy Creek's out of it at 0-2. But they can cause some problems here if they can beat Nice as well. 5A District 3, Ponte Vedra, 6-2, 3-1. They are off, and now I'm going to sit and wait and see what plays out as they beat Orange Park last week. Middleburg, who's 7-1 and 2-1. Big win for them last week, by the way, over Beachside. A big overtime win there. I heard from Josh Wilson about it Friday night.
Me too.
Yeah. This week, though, Middleburg gets Fleming Island. It's a big game. Fleming Island 4-3 and 1-1 in district play. And then Beachside is playing at Orange Park. Orange Park's out of it. The 3-5, 0-3. Beachside's 5-2 and 1-1 in district. Now, here are your scenarios. Number A, letter A. Orange Park upsets Beachside, giving the Sharks the title on a Vedra. Middleburg and Beachside wins to create a 3-way tiebreaker between Ponte Vedra, Middleburg, and Beachside. Fleming Island and Beachside win. That would give Beachside the district title.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little hot mess with what happened Friday night, but I kind of like this, though.
Well, Fleming Island and Beachside still have to play, though. Look at that makeup game, because they didn't play the week before last.
Right.
Yeah. So then Beachside would get the district title either way, though.
Well, if Beachside loses, that would clinch for Ponte Vedra.
Right.
Wouldn't it matter about Fleming Island and Beachside?
It says, okay. Gotcha. Fleming Island. I thought it said Fleming Island. Okay, gotcha. Okay. 5A District 4, Mainland could win the title with a win over Bellevue. That probably will happen. A Bellevue upset would create a 3-way tiebreaker with Matanzas. Matanzas is 5-3 and 1-1. Mainland 5-2, 1-0. And Bellevue's 1-7 and 0-1. Don't expect that to happen, but again, who knows?
Yeah, it would take a monumental upset there for Bellevue to knock off Mainland.
Right.
Mainland started off kind of rough, but one of their losses was to DeLand. So
yeah.
But yeah, we think Mainland's going to win that.
Yeah. 3A District 2. This could happen. McCullough 5-3-2, and it could clinch the title. The win over Baker County 4-4, 1-1. But if Baker wins, that would be a 3-way tie with Godby, who's only 3-5 at 2-1 in the district. Where is that game at? McCullough or at Baker?
Yeah, at McCullough.
Oh, okay. Well, McCullough's tough at home. But again, Baker County could win that game, and that could cause, as you say, a 3-way tie with Godby. So
these last two, I actually had as winner take all games. And then I really did the math, and I was like, oh no, wait, they're not winner take all.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
as you say,
if there's upsets, there's chaos.
yeah, 2A District 5. We talked about this last week with Mike Rideout when he was here. Bradford, who's 7-1 and 3-0, can clinch the title with a win over Santa Fe, who's 6-2 and 2-1. But a Santa Fe win would force a three-way tiebreaker with Newberry, who's 4-4 and 3-1. So Mike thought that Bradford Santa Fe game, Bradford already won the district title, so he didn't plan on coming to broadcast it this week. So they're going to be at Williston and Newberry, which Newberry needs a win there as well, probably for the postseason.
Well, and even if Santa Fe wins, likely Bradford would still win the district title
Points.
because they keep flip-flopping every single week. They're 1 or 2 in that region, where Santa Fe is 4 or 5, I think. But
yeah,
you never know when it comes to computer.
Yeah, you never know. You're right. So, but Bradford, they can take care of that by beating Santa Fe here. Across the street here from us here is, again, where it be for Brady's and Stark, US 301, right across from Bradford High School. Bringing you tonight's edition of the North Florida High School Football Report. Marty Pallman with Corey Davis. Thank our guest, Alan Pettigrew, the Ocala Star banner, who joined us earlier to talk Marion County football. Now, let's look at some of our other features this week. Still streaking. The losses keep piling up. Yes, Sandalwood, 29 in a row. Eastside. Actually, Mike was at this game. Eastside, Sandalwood got within 23-14 at one point, and then Eastside scored the next 20 points. So they've now lost 29 in a row. Bronson drops their 22nd in a row. Westside loses number 14 in a row. They lost to Stanton. By the way, Stanton's going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time in school history, something like that.
No, they made it last year too, or they made it the last 3 years.
Oh, in the SSAA. Right.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever made it in the FHSA.
No, Paxton and Stanton have never made FHSA.
Paxton never made it, huh? That surprises me a little bit. PK Young now has lost 11 in a row, Inglewood 8 in a row, and Bellevue has lost 5 in a row. Not bad. So Bellevue will get a chance to seek against Mainland.
Yeah.
Bartow Trail head coach Corey Johns was given a 3-game suspension October 9th from the FHSA for contact with a player who wasn't enrolled at the school via text messages. He'll miss 3 games despite no recruiting violations found. That's interesting. And accepted the punishment and will not appeal. Johns will return for the regular season finale on October 31st. So I will not see him at Bartram Trail game on Thursday against Buchholz.
Yeah, Justin Barney broke the story last week, I think it was. And that's why I'm just now talking about it because even though it happened October 9th, nobody really knew about it until last week. And it's interesting because Nice coach, the former defense coordinator, got in trouble for the same exact thing, and he's gone for the rest of the year.
Oh, wow. Okay. But, I mean, they found no recruiting violations.
Correct. So the school decided to suspend him.
Right. Okay. So, as you said, Johns has missing 3 games, so he is out 1 more week. He'll be back for the regular season finale on Halloween, October 31st. While the FHSAA has another 2 weeks left of the regular season, this is the regular season finale for all Sunshine State athletic teams this week, as playoffs start next week, including 11-man teams at Ocala, St. Joseph Academy, Christ Church, Eagles View, Bishop Snyder, Cedar Creek Christian, Duval Charter, Impact Christian, Harvest Community, and 8-man team St. Francis, Countryside Christian, St. John Lutheran, Ocala Christian, Old Plank, Florida Deaf, First Coast Christian, and Gainesville Christian. And the Atlantic League teams, which include Bell, Bronson, Interlochen, Stanton, Paxton, West Nassau, Fernandina Beach, and Lake Weir.
Yeah, talking to the commissioner last week, we weren't expecting consolation brackets, but the way they do it is the top 8 teams in the North, or this is for the Atlantic League, top 8 in the North and the top 8 in the South have separate brackets. So the North champion plays the South champion in the state championship game, but the 4 teams that don't make the actual playoffs have a consolation bracket. So Interlochen will make the consolation playoffs next week. And then we'll host Bronson.
They'll host Bronson, okay. Boy, apparently Mike Evans had a bad injury in this game. Lots going on tonight. We got Monday Night Football. We don't usually have that going on. Bucks and Lions are playing. We got the Game 7 of the ALCS. Corey doesn't care anymore because the Yankees aren't in it, but he doesn't.
Who's playing?
Seattle and Toronto, Game 7. And they're going to get the Dodgers. The winner plays the Dodgers. So
yeah,
the World Series. But All right, record day. I'm going to ask Corey about this because he was at this game. 3 weeks after setting a new school record with 477 yards and 7 touchdowns in a 49-48 loss to St. Joseph Academy, Hilliard Jr. tailback DJ Alderman nearly did it again. He ran for 388 yards and 7 touchdowns on 28 carries as the Flashes beat Interlochen 54-34. He scored in the Flashes' first play from scrimmage out of the Wildcat, scored 7 of the team's 8 touchdowns on the night. Sounds like quite a performance.
Yeah, it was pretty much give it to DJ every single carry. Later, and he actually played quarterback too at times. He actually threw. They don't throw the ball, but they actually threw the ball 5 times Friday night, but it was late in the game.
Is that a lot for them?
Yeah. He is good. He's 5'7", 160 listed. But he looks way shorter. But man, he runs a 4.1 40. He is lightning in a bottle. And they were coming off a 4-game losing streak, and he was running for like 200, 250, 300. But they were losing every game. They have a horrible defense, which is why Interlochen scored 34. And it was actually a one-score game going into the fourth quarter, and Hilliard scored 2 touchdowns to put it away. But my question is, obviously they kept him in to tie his record because they ran a fake punt to him. He picked up the first down and scored on the drive and came back in the next drive. They didn't take him out until probably 2 minutes left in the
They're
game.
literally a one-man team, it sounds like, almost.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he a senior? Oh, he's a junior.
Junior.
Well, hopefully somebody's looking at him, although I know Hilliard's not a very big school, but still, those are impressive numbers. Of course, the Bulls guy, his name escapes me now, had 8 touchdowns.
Xander
Edwards. Yeah. He had 8 touchdowns in a game against Baldwin this year. So,
which he tied the guy from St. John's Lutheran against.
yes. Oh, yeah.
We talked about him just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Caleb something.
Yeah.
Sorry. Should remember that too. All right, so Hilliard gets the win. That was quite a game though, Corey. 88 points. Nice back and forth game there.
I mean, the good news for me is I still was able to make deadline.
Which is going to be tough at 88 point game.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I don't know where you would go in Hilliard. You might have to go to Callahan.
I did. I went to Callahan.
Yeah, I was saying. I don't even know what's open in Callahan for 10 o'clock.
Well, there's a McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell.
Hilliard doesn't even have any of that.
Hilliard has Wendy's.
Yeah, they have a Wendy's. That's about it.
Yeah.
All right, let's look around the Ocala area. We talked to Alan a little bit about this earlier. Hawthorne, though, goes to Denellen. No problem there. 26-0 for the Hornets. They're 6-1 now. Denellen 4-5. That was a Thursday night game. 3rd straight win for the Hornets since they lost to Oakleaf. Their 3rd shot of the season. Hawthorne seems to be playing on pretty much all cylinders as they now will have I think they have a bye week this week and then one more game.
No, they played this week, then a bye.
Then they have 2 more weeks actually because the playoffs won't start. So a lot of byes there for Hawthorne. Trinity Catholic over Union County 17-6 as Trinity Catholic does end a 4-game losing streak. They're now 3-4. Union County struggling this year, 2-5 as Trinity gets that win at home in Ocala. Corey mentioned this game. Palm Beach Central 29, Vanguard 28. Vanguard takes a 28-21 lead with 55 seconds left. Jerome Pinckney scoring to put the Knights ahead. However, Palm Beach Central, the Broncos got a Hail Mary to stun the host Knights. So Palm Beach Central just a 4-4, Vanguard now 6-2. Quite a game there.
Yeah, looking at the records, I didn't expect that. I thought Vanguard would roll easily that game, but
it's scheduled. Yeah,
Palm Central came ready to play.
Yeah, and it's a long trip for them too, so it's good to see them playing that way in Ocala. Forest holds off Davenport 28-24. The Wildcats wrap up 2nd place in 6A District 6 behind Southlake. Forest is 5-3 now. As you said, Corey, they have a shot at the postseason, especially if they beat Vanguard, which would be next week, Halloween night. Countryside Christian over St. John Lutheran 47-6. On to Gainesville now. We start in Alachua. These are Thursday night's games. Santa Fe 37-0 over Lake Weir. The Raiders 6-2. They're up 17-0 at halftime, and then outscored Lake Weir 20-0 the second half. Lake Weir now 4-5. It's the second shutout this season for the Raiders. Again, this was a Thursday night game last week in Alachua. This is the game I was at on Thursday night. It was a game for a while. Then it stopped being one. Williston 65, Gainesville 21. It was 14-7 Williston in the first quarter. It was actually 36-21 in the third quarter. But then the Red Devils scored 29 unanswered, went to a running clock. They outscored them 51-14 after the first quarter on Thursday night. This game really turned when, as Williston's now 7-1, they've won 7 in a row since their loss to Chiefland week 1, and Gainesville now 2-6. They're really having a struggle. But this game really turned when the quarterback, Tayshawn Sanford for Gainesville, was injured. I haven't heard what it was, but he was taken off on a stretcher. There was about a 30-minute delay. So this game went pretty long. But it was obvious after that Gainesville was pretty much done. This is midway through the third quarter. And the guy who's pretty much their offense, their quarterback, their leader, he was gone. So tough way for that to go. They now get to play Vanguard this week and then Eastside to close. So Gainesville's got some tough matchups coming up. Wilson's got to play Newberry this week. So but Wilson is an interesting team. I mean, Robbie Pruitt, all they do is run the ball. They run the ball and they run the ball.
I was going to ask you, are they running like the wing tee? Or
Oh yeah, that never changed. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think he'll run that offense till he stops coaching. But I think the quarterback tried 2 or 3 passes the whole game. He actually completed a 50-yard pass, was called back for holding though. So, all right. Then on Friday night, Eastside 43, Sandalwood 14 in Jacksonville. The Rams are 6-2 as they go there and lay the smackdown over the winless Saints 0-9 for the second straight year. That's where Mike was Mike right out last Friday night in his 106.99 country game. So Eastside now 2 more games to go, including Gainesville. That'll be next week. Lafayette, ouch, Trenton. 47-6 on the night. Host Trenton honored their 2015 state championship team. Lafayette didn't care as they got out to a 28-0 first quarter lead, 47-0 at half on 47-6. Lafayette 7-1. That's quite a win. Trenton now 5-3. They're starting. Trenton's schedules got tougher, and they've started to run into a little bit of a trouble.
Well, we kind of said this, that, they loaded the front part of the schedule with some games they could win. Unlike another team down in Middleburg, similar story. And Trenton, finally started playing some competition. That score, though, surprised me because I knew Lafayette's good, but I didn't think that Lafayette was going to thump Trenton like that.
No, not at all. But Lafayette, and their only loss so far has been to Chiefland, and we already saw Chiefland beat up Trenton pretty bad a couple weeks ago. Newberry goes to Fort White, wins 25-7 by the two-headed monster Caleb Woods and Jamarcus Wimberly. Big win. Newberry needed this win. Panthers are now 4-4. Fort White now 4-4 as well. So both teams kind of on the bubble in their respective classifications. Newberry 2A and Fort White in the rural classification. Other scores, boy, how about this? Bradford beat Leon 45-10. Homecoming. The Tornadoes 8-1, although allowing 10 points is more than they allowed all season, really. But they scored 35, which is more than they've scored all season, probably. So they go to 8-1. They play Santa Fe, then that's it. The regular season. They got a bye.
That's it.
This week, so that'll be it for Bradford this week in the regular season. Chiefland only beat Keystone Heights 42-7. Chiefland 8-1 now. Keystone now 0-8. Keystone did score. Palaca 46-0. Ouch, over Crescent City. So Palaca goes to 2-6. Crescent City 2-6 in the Putnam County rivalry. Palaca's won the last 2 and only beating a combined 81-0. So
yeah, they won 35-0 last year. That was the first time the two teams have played.
That was at Crescent City last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Since 1977, but it wasn't called Palaca High. It was called Palaca South.
South, yeah, right.
So this is really the only 2 meetings they've ever had.
Right. Taylor County defeats Suwannee 35-25. So the Taylor County Bulldogs come back from their loss to Chiefland the week before, and they go to 7-1. Suwannee having a tough year, 1-7. We mentioned PK Young going down to NFBI 60-0. The Blue Wave are 0-8, but they play for the district title this week. It's Trinity Catholic.
All it takes is one win.
That's right. Windermere Prep 34, Bronson nothing. Bronson now 0-9. Hamilton County over Dixie County 48-16 is Dixie County now 1-8. And St. Joseph, they stay unbeaten. And they hand Oak Hall their 3rd straight loss, 26-17. Oak Hall now 5-3. That's always a tough place for them to go play. And that's a really good team in St. Joseph.
That St. Joe team's undefeated. They're really good.
Yeah, they're always under the radar, kind of.
Wanted to see them Friday night against Interlochen at St. Joe, but
Right.
I'll instead be at the Burn Bowl rivalry with Pearson Taylor and Crescent City.
What is it? The what role?
The Burn Bowl.
Burn Bowl. That's right. Yeah. Okay. That's where you are on Friday?
Yeah.
Pearson Taylor, Crescent City. All right. All right. Let's take a look at Jacksonville now. Another Thursday game last week. Bulls 45, Riverside 14. Naheem Burrows and Xander Edwards had 3 touchdowns apiece. Bulls now 7-1. Riverside's 2-7. That was a Thursday night game. Burrows returned upon 85 yards, scored an end around, and caught a touchdown pass. He's a Clemson commit. The defense had a huge night with an interception and 6 sacks, including 4 from Asher Joto, who is a sophomore, is Ohio State commit, and already is getting a lot of looks there at Bulls. 4 in a game, not bad. Boy, this was a good one. We thought this was going to be one of the games of the week, and it was. Oakley 45-41 over Ed White. Oakley scored in the last 30 seconds to take the lead. Ed White's Hail Mary pass was rolled out of bounds. Both teams celebrating, thinking they both won. I didn't hear about this.
I saw the video, which was still kind of too far away to really get an accurate presentation, but the kid caught the ball but was juggling it, and I've seen the referee kind of go like this and like this, like he was juggling and he was out of bounds.
Ed White thought they had won, though?
Yeah, so they started celebrating, thinking he caught a touchdown. They started celebrating.
Were any officials signaling that? Say they were just signaling the juggle, the bobble, or whatever.
Well, immediately Ed White started celebrating before
Okay.
the referees called anything. Because I think even the referees still had to figure out what had just happened.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, I picked Ed White in that game, so that would have been nice. But Fareed Coleman ran for 5 touchdowns and 300 yards for Oakleaf. Nick Roberson caught 3 touchdowns for Ed White. King Boston, I love that name, saw 4 touchdowns. Those 2 teams are both pretty good. I mean, obviously Ed White hanging with Oakleaf like that. Both are going to be both are playoff teams, so we'll see how far they can go this year.
Hopefully, we'll get a rematch in the playoffs.
That's no, Ed White's not in their class. Oakleaf.
Oh, that's right.
They're at 4A. Yeah, that's right. Middleburg, how about this win? 37-36 over Beachside. Middleburg, this is their best win of the season. Blocked a extra point in overtime. So Middleburg 7-1, 2-1 in the district. Beachside 5-2 and 1-1. A 5A District 3 thriller. And on the other side, Orange Park. Ponte Vedra 53-0 over Orange Park. Sharks are 6-2, 3-1. They are now in first in 5A District 3 as they beat Orange Park and Ponte Vedra. But Middleburg.
The biggest supporters of the Broncos was Ponte Vedra because they now control the district because of Middleburg wins.
Because Beachside beat Ponte Vedra too, so that's true. Good point. Well, and Middleburg, I mean, I think they're probably going to make the postseason, but that probably clinched it for them at least. I believe they got to be up there.
Yeah,
I heard their coach Ryan Wolf talking on the post-game show last week on 1010XL. Everybody says we don't play a schedule, and I'm like, yeah, that's us.
I talked to Josh Wilson. I talked to Josh Wilson today, and I'm like, since you guys are back to being a program, you need to start dropping these Christian schools. Joshua Christian, North Florida Education. Go play somebody decent. Because they've had 6. They will have 6 home games this year.
They have 6, right?
Yeah.
Some teams have 6. I mean, I think some teams actually may have 7 sometimes, but yeah, it's tough. But Middleburg, this district's pretty tough, though. I got to give it. I mean, the Ponte Vedra, Beachside, Fleming Island's pretty tough district, honestly. But outside of that, they play nobody. I mean, they really do.
If they beat Fleming and then beat North Marion, which they could, they would finish 9-1, which would be the best record at Middleburg in 35 years.
I wonder when that was.
1980.
I know. Allen Hall. They were 9-1 that year. Yeah.
They finished 9-1, got murdered at home by Choctaw. 38-0.
Yes. That was the Middleburg Orange Park District Championship.
Josh Wilson and I had a nice little conversation about the Broncos and their history today.
Well, yeah, he knows about all that. Yeah, he would know. We know about the Ravens.
No, he was asking me.
Oh, I guess you would know. You're right. You would know because you were there too.
Yeah.
And I remember Middleburg as well, but I didn't realize Middleburg school only opened in 1980s.
Yep.
So we were at school. That school was only been around 10 years.
1981, 1980 they went like 5-5. 1981 they went 8-2.
That's right.
They were independent, didn't go to the playoffs, and they turned down a bowl bid. They would have gone to the talking about Allen and his pronunciations, the Miniac Bowl.
Miniac Bowl. Right. They used to have that in the Gator Bowl.
Jacksonville, yeah.
The Gator Bowl. Yeah, they don't do bowl games so much anymore. It's too bad, but and Orange Park, was it 81 or 80 when they went like to the playoffs first time? I think they won their
80.
district,
It was 80.
won their first round game, then got beat by Choctaw, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, let's take enough history lesson there, I guess. I can do this for a while. But here's scores a note from last week. Nice blanking Atlantic Coast 29-0. Creekside won their district, which is good because Rains beat them 52-3 last week. Yulee, their first loss of the season. Maybe looking ahead to Rains a little bit. It was 42-14 at Flagler Palm Coast. Bishop Kenny, again, no problem with First Coast. They win 45-13.
This kid's got to be bored. Every week they're doing a running clock.
I'm getting kind of tired of it, honestly. The games are just not even fun. And, well, they're fun, but I mean, you know what I mean. By the second, third quarter, I'm talking about other stuff, and we're going through running clocks every week. But yeah, 7 games this year. Richard Kenny's had 5 running clocks, 4 of them on their side, 1 of them against them for both. So yeah. They've it's been a lot of that this year. Actually, 8 games. No, it's 8 games, 6 running clocks. That's right.
And see, this is where not playing Episcopal, and Episcopal has a decent record, would have been. I'm not saying it may have not been a running clock. Who knows? But that may have been a competitive game at the end of the year.
It could be. I actually didn't think they were going to put a running clock on Rickards when we went over there, Tallahassee, but Rickards just fell apart in that game. I was a little surprised on that one. So Bishop Kenny goes to 6-2, and it may not change this week. They're hosting Winless West Side, so maybe another one. And then at Providence.
That'll be back to back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
St. Augustine, they stay unbeaten, holding off Bartram Trail 34-20 in that rivalry game. Decoy Creek holds off Menendez 23-17 for the Toros. Fleming Island all over Terry Parker 55-20. Clay holds off Fernandina Beach 35-34.
That was kind of an upset there.
Yeah. Only I think that's is that their first or second
win? Second.
Yeah. Impact Christian. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Fernandina's got 5 wins.
Yeah,
so
right.
That was kind of an upset.
It is a bit of an upset. Impact Christian over Ridgeview 56-20. Jackson 56. Inglewood zip. Rough year for the Inglewood Rams. Baldwin 35-12 over Ribault. Stanton, they're going to the postseason. They beat Westside 36-24. Providence over Kipbold City 37-8. This score surprised me. Trinity Christian, this was a close game in the third quarter, and then Trinity pulled away. They beat Lincoln 32-14. Good win for Trinity Christian there, I'd say.
That's a huge win for Lincoln. For Trinity. But that obviously that schedule's paid off because you're able to bounce back and win a big game like that.
They're back to 500 now, 4-4 in the last 2 weeks. Hilliard of Interlochen 54-34. Paxton defeats Wildwood 52-25. Christchurch 24, Cornerstone Charter 23. Eaglesview 18-6 over Port Orange Atlantic. Donahue Catholic, I don't know where that is. 47-12 over First Coast Christian. And is that a Jackson? That's not a Jacksonville school.
No, that's down in central part or Lakeland somewhere.
That's right. All right, let's look at the schedule this week. We mentioned Thursday, 2 games in the Gainesville area. Bartram Trail will be at Buholtz, 6A District 3. I'll be broadcasting that game on MainStreetDailyNews.com on Thursday night, beginning at 6:45. 7 o'clock is the kickoff. Williston and Newberry, that's where Mike will be. They're doing their game on Thursday. 106.9 I Am Country game is on Thursday this week instead of Friday. And he will be at that Williston Newberry game, which will be a 7:30 kick, 7 o'clock.
He told me that. That's why it was on the schedule.
Yeah. So they moved that game to Thursday as well. Friday's games, Atlantic Coast is at Swanee, Flagler Palm Coast at Spruce Creek in 7A District 2, Fletcher at First Coast in 6A2, Oakleaf and Mandarin in 6A2, Decoy Creek at Nice in 6A3, Beachside at Orange Park in 5A3, Middleburg at Fleming Island in 5A3, IMG.
It's not the no.
Ouch, because I'm going to say
no. This is like the JV middle school, whatever.
The real IMG beat Mandarin 57-7. Right?
Yeah. Right.
That's impressive still. Mainland at Bellevue in 5A District 4. Matanzas at Menendez. Clay at Columbia in 4A3. St. Augustine at Ridgeview in 4A3. Ed White at Riverside in 4A District 4. Parker at Inglewood. Baker County at McCullen 3A2. Yulee at Rains 3A District 3 Championship. Paxton at Rebolt non-district game there. West Side at Bishop Kinney in 3A District 4. Jackson and Baldwin in 2A District 4. Jackson at Baldwin. Wolfson at Bowles in 2A4. Bowles has wrapped that one up already. Santa Fe at Bradford in 2A District 5. Keystone Heights and Palaca in 2A5. Savannah Country Day at Episcopal. Trinity at Kitbold City. That's a 1A2 game. North Florida Educational Institute at Oak Hall. Impact Christian at Fernandina Beach. Providence University Christian in 1A3, as that will be for that district title. PK under Trinity Catholic in 1A District 4. We talked about that game. Pearson Taylor at Crescent City, as you're going to be there. Lake Weir Atlantic. Bishop Snyder at Bell. Bronson at Christ Church in the St. Joseph Academy. Space Coast going to Stanton. Pretty good Space Coast team usually. West Nassau and Dixie County. I don't think it's going to be tough for Dixie County again. I think there. Lafayette at Brantford. That's a big ball game.
I love that robbery game. I've been to that robbery game.
Lafayette Brantford.
Battle for ye old helmet. They literally took it. Yeah,
ye old helmet. I like that.
They took a helmet, an old helmet, painted one side red, one side blue, and they put all the scores on the helmet.
Okay.
So if Lafayette wins, they put all the scores on the red side. If Brantford wins, they put all the scores.
I didn't know it was that big a rivalry, but I did know it was a rivalry. But man,
they're right down the road from each other.
Yeah, that's good. Figure it's good you've been to that one. So ye old helmet. All right. Fort White will be at Hamilton County. Hawthorne traveling to Melbourne Central Catholic. That'll finish off their regular season. Long trip down there. Liberty County at Hilliard. Fort Haven is at Trenton. Hudson at Union County. Westport at Forest. There's an Ocala rivalry there. Vanguard at Gainesville in 4A5. Denellen at South Sumter in 3A5. And North Marion and Eastside are playing at Santa Fe in 3A District 5.
Yeah, Mike Rideout told me that because of
Gainesville's home on Friday. And Eastside or Beholt's on Thursday.
Yeah.
And Santa Fe's here. So, yeah, Bradford.
Yeah.
So North Marion and Eastside will play there. Even though that district has been wrapped up by Eastside. So, don't have to worry about that anymore as well. All right. Time for the weekly picks. I have a feeling Corey actually made up some ground last week. I know he did. So
I did. I did actually.
Thinking about some of the games. Yeah, I know.
But you still lead by a lot.
That Ed White Oakleaf game was bugging me because I'm like, man, they almost had that game won.
Marty, you went 7-5. You're now 85-25.
Oh,
So you're 60 games over 500.
yeah.
I went 9-3.
Oh, got 2 games.
And so I'm at 77-33.
Oh,
So I'm now
games.
8 behind.
8.
Yeah.
Did you say 70?
7-33.
Oh, 77. Sorry.
I was 10 behind. Now I'm 8 behind.
Yeah, I think you made me take Trenton too last week. I made myself do that. But okay, so guess we can go ahead before we move on to our college football hour coming up at 9:00. Let's take a look at our picks here for high school this week. Williston and Newberry. This game Thursday night at Newberry. Who's first tonight?
It don't matter. You pick. Whatever.
Okay. Williston at Newberry. I like this game. We just saw Williston last week. Impressive team. They are a tough team. Newberry has been up and down this year. But, I'm impressed with Williston, honestly. I'm going to take them to win. I like Williston on the road.
Run game versus run game.
Yeah, it's true. Newberry does that too.
But they can throw the ball.
Yeah.
But they've got 2 really good running backs. The quarterback can take off and run too. I need to make up some ground, but I'm going to go Wilson too.
All right. Fletcher at First Coast. First Coast has one really good player, Tony Kennedy, on that team, who came from Terry Parker, as you said. Saw him the other night. He pretty much is First Coast offense. Fletcher's had a pretty good year, really, even though they're not going to win the district. They can make the playoffs. I'm going to take Fletcher.
Yeah, I agree. I like Fletcher. I like Theatric Basin as a coach. First Coast is much improved this year, but I think Fletcher wins that game.
Yeah, they are 4-4, but first-year coach there, Jarvis Parker. But, yeah, Fletcher probably on their way to the postseason. Oakleaf at Mandarin. Here we go. District championship game. Ooh. Well, it's not a whole lot of difference. These two teams played in the playoffs last year. Oakleaf knocked off Mandarin. Mandarin this year, though, has been kind of back to where they were a few years ago when they played for the state title. I tell you, that's a tough one. I'm going to take Mandarin at home. I'll take the Mustangs.
Not so fast.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oakleaf has been on a roll. They beat Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Who else? Ed White. They beat Bulls. They beat Bulls, didn't they?
Lost the Bulls. That's their only loss.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going Oakleaf. I've been picking against them. I'm going to pick with them this time.
You picked them last week.
Well, yes, but before that, I'm picking against them.
Mandarin has beaten Bradford. Bradford's only lost
to IMG.
Yeah. Well, not sure. I'm trying to remember some of their wins. They beat a lot of teams, local teams, it seems like.
Yeah.
All right, Sequoia Creek at Nice. Here's another St. Johns County game. Sequoia, had a decent year. Beat Menendez last week. Nice, though, is one of the top teams in the area. They only have 2 losses right now. One of those was to Buholtz. The other was to St. Augustine. So I take Nice to win this game.
I agree. Gotta go with Nice.
Yep. Middleburg at Fleming Island. So can the Golden Eagles of Fleming Island keep Middleburg out of the postseason? Let's see. This game, if I'm correct, has kind of been dominated by Fleming Island, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because they pretty much dominated Orange Park and Middleburg. It's a rare road game for Middleburg. They actually have to go on the road. All right. I know, not to disrespect Middleburg. I have a little more respect for them. I think Fleming Island wins at home.
I agree. I'm just not sold on Middleburg.
Yeah. Well,
I know they beat Beachside last week.
A little more after last week. That's a good team they beat. But yeah. Fleming Island is still a good team as well, even though the record hasn't shown it as much. Baker County at Wakulla. Oops. I've been to Crawfordville and to McClenny, and I can tell you, both places are tough to play. Baker County got to take a long trip for this district game. Baker County needs a win, but I don't know if they're going to get that over there. I'm going to take Wakulla.
Yeah, same here.
The War Eagles. Wakulla, the win.
Last time I saw Wakulla play, there was this guy that played quarterback.
Felipe Franks?
He ended up kicking a field goal at the state finals. That was my last memory of Wakulla.
He's playing with the Falcons now. Felipe Franks, yeah. He missed a field goal against Bishop Moore. That's right, in the Citrus Bowl. I forgot about that. Yulee at Rains. District championship game here as well. Yulee's having a really good year. They're not going to beat Rains at the Graveyard. I'll take Rains for the win.
Yeah, same thing. Yulee's, school record for consecutive wins to open the season. Maybe they were caught looking ahead last week with the loss to Palm Coast. You're not going to win in the Graveyard.
It's a different place, yeah. Right. All right. So both have Rains there. Jackson at Baldwin. Baldwin, I think their only losses are to Bowles and Baker County. They put up a lot of points this season. Jackson, they've been okay, but I'll take Baldwin to win this game at home.
I hate picking the same as you, but I'm going Baldwin.
Well, I'm in first place. I know what I'm talking about. I guess.
Well, right now we only have one difference, so
these games aren't really.
Yeah.
Santa Fe at Bradford. I don't think we're going to differ much on this one either. Again, as good as Santa Fe's been this year, and they have been a lot better, this is a little bit different atmosphere going into Stark. Bradford's the best team they played to this point. I'll take Bradford at home.
I can't disagree. Yeah.
Providence University Christian. Providence with a chance at the district title. These two teams, I believe, last year was like 54-40. It was a high-scoring game. UC won at Providence to take the district title. I don't see it being as close this year. Providence isn't as good. They don't score as many points. It's at UC. I'll take, even though UC's coming in off a couple of losses, I'll take University Christian.
Same here. Hard to argue.
All right, nothing to say. Lafayette and Brantford. We were just
Well,
talking
you
about-
saw UC play, so
yeah, I like them. I mean, they've lost to Hawthorne, to Bishop
I've
Kenny.
seen Providence play. So
Yeah.
with that said, based on what I saw, I'm going UC.
Lafayette and Brantford, the battle for ye old helmet. I know that. I went against Lafayette last week. Not really, but and they've been beating up everybody but Chiefland. And I know it's at Brantford, but I like Lafayette.
Yeah, I've been saying since the season started, watch out for Lafayette, and they've been on fire, and maybe a close one in this game. But I like Lafayette.
Fort White at Hamilton County. I absolutely have zero idea what
I
Hamilton
think
County.
Hamilton County, I think is 5-3. Fort White's 4-4.
Yeah, feels like two very similar teams. I haven't seen a lot
But
this
two
year.
of Hamilton team wins are against Middleburg Cupcakes.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah, my gut tells me to go with Fort White, even though it's on the road. So I'll go with Fort White.
All right, just to be different, I'm going Hamilton County.
Hamco. Good old Hamco. Hawthorne at Melbourne Central Catholic. This is a really good game, kind of low key, but Hawthorne's got to make a long trip, but I don't know if that really bothers them that much. I feel like Hawthorne will win. I'm going to take them, even though it's on the road. The Hornets just seem to find ways to win games.
Melbourne Central Catholic is loaded. They would have destroyed Trinity Catholic had they played.
Okay.
I remember Melbourne Central Catholic beat them by like 56-0. One of the Gainesville teams, I think, played them. Yeah, I'm going with Melbourne Central
Oh,
Catholic.
you are? Okay. Wish I'd known that before. Denell and South Sumter. This is a bit of a rivalry game. It's always tough to win in Bushnell, unless you're Bradford, who won there this year. Denellen has been down for them a little bit this year, coming in off being blanked by Hawthorne last week. I'll take South Sumter at home.
Can't disagree.
Okay, finally. North Marion at Eastside at Santa Fe.
By the way, these last two games are district games, but it doesn't matter anymore. But
Yeah, because Eastside's won this district. So North Marion is out of it. South Sumter may make the postseason.
yeah, they probably will.
Denellen, I think, is on the outside. But North Marion at Eastside. I tell you, Eastside's rolling, and they have had no problem really since the Buholtz game. Their only two losses were to Bradford. Sorry, Buholtz and Bradford. I'd like them to win this game against North Marion.
Yeah, I can't go against anybody named Gator. Well, not only that, but the Palaca Sheriff is called Gator too, Gator Deloach. And Eastside's rolling right now. It's hard to pick against them.
Yeah, it is. As they get ready for the postseason, they'll close with Gainesville next week. All right, that's it. Those are our picks, and that's another week of the high school football report, North Florida high school football report here on North Florida Sports Talk Network. He's Corey Davis. I'm Marty Pallman. Remember to come to Beef O'Brady's. 4 years of Beef O'Brady's. Nightly specials at Beef's. Tonight, Monday is Burger Monday, actually. So they have the specials tonight. The burgers, Monday Night Football. A lot going on tonight, Monday Night Football. We're in the back room. We're actually quiet, which is weird. But we'll be back again Wednesday, 8 to 9 o'clock. And next week, we'll have some SSA playoffs for us to talk about. Have they made an announcement on that yet?
No, because they take in consideration. Now, the rankings came out today, which leads you to believe. In fact, they tweeted out who might play who, but
Right.
nothing's guaranteed yet.
Okay. So we'll have that next week on Wednesday, back to our normal time. All right. Have a good week, everybody. Enjoy football this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every day. There's football. And we'll talk to you again next Wednesday night for the North Florida High School Football Gridiron Report. Good night.
All right, we got a lot to talk about in college.
Oh yeah. Show you. Damn.